Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm the 3D guy, and today we are going to be going over the layout of SolidWorks. I just got it the other day. I'm really excited to be doing more videos in SolidWorks, and as well as doing some more videos comparing SolidWorks to other programs like Fusion 360. I'm going to switch on over real quick, and I'm actually going to open that program from scratch. And while that is booting up, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification so you can be notified every time I post one of these videos. I have a lot of fun stuff coming up, and I'm really excited, especially those comparison videos between SolidWorks and Fusion. So what we have here is just your basic welcome. You're in the program. So what it gives you the options is you can choose a part, you can choose assembly, drawing, you can do advanced where you can go into a lot more options. You do have your resources tab right here as well as your recent folders and documents you've opened. I'm actually going to click on that actually right now. You also have a recent tab there, some learning where you can look at educational videos and what events that SolidWorks is going to be putting on, as well as any alerts. So we're going to just click on that guy. This is just a little sample cube that I like using. All right, so we have our build volume, our build space right here in the middle. It's awesome. One thing I do like about SolidWorks is the icons for all of the features are smaller. I like that personally because I can have more on my screen, and I don't have to be clicking as many arrows to navigate through trying to find a feature. Some people may differ in that opinion, but I do like it. Generally, just looking at it, it's not as user-friendly as, let's say, something like Fusion 360. It looks a little bit more engineering and less, I guess, beginners isn't even the right word for it, but less designery and more engineering. Great words. Anywho, we'll first start off with just where you find your features. Like many design programs, 3D modeling programs, you'll find your features up at this top bar. And with that, you can actually hide it. We can click this little arrow right here, and it'll hide and only show those icons when we click on the specific tab we want, whether it's features or sketch. But the moment we click off, it'll hide it again. To bring that back, we just hit this little pin bar right there. So you do have different tabs here. You have your features, sketch, surfacing, markup. That's something that I don't remember in school. It might be a newer feature. You can just actually add notes, visual notes, which is kind of cool. Evaluate, add-ons, all sorts of things. If you right-click, you can hit your tabs, and you can actually add more. And so for me personally, I'm probably going to add a sheet metal. You can see it pops it up right there. So you can add stuff as well. In the middle, we have just a bunch of different tools for your visual display. Some notable ones that I really want to note right now is you have your section view. So if you want to look on the internals of a part, really, really useful. If you want to change the actual display, like right now I have shaded with edges. I can do just shaded. Excuse me. I can do hidden lines, visible. I typically choose one of these top two, but sometimes I will toggle. You can also hide different things. So this is a really, really, really useful tool. Use it a lot, where you can choose different things that are visible. And so let's say I want all of my sketches to be I don't want to see them. I can click on that, and any sketches that are present will not be visible. Dimensions, all sorts of different options here. Marking, if I'm going to be marking it up. So that's a very, very useful tool right there. If you want to be adding any appearances, you can do it here, as well as if you want to apply a scene, if you want to change the background color or actually put it in a location, you can click that and change that. And then last, we also have the different perspective. And so you can have ambient perspective. So you can see it's kind of adding a little bit more of that. Oops, sorry. New mouse. Adding a little bit more of that perspective view, more realistic. So all sorts of things you can do right there. Okay. Also on the top, you have your typical files, edit view, insert tools window. You do have a home button. This just kind of takes you to a dialog page, the exact page you started with. New file, save, open, print, all sorts of different things. This is also really a useful tool, rebuild. I'll maybe talk about that a little bit later in depth, but we'll go over to here. Search bar. I really, really, really like how SolidWorks has a search bar. If you know the name of a feature, but you don't really know where it is, this is really, really useful. So let's say I click on here, and let's just say I want to do a loft. I can type that in, and it'll show me all of the features that are called loft, But then I can also go to this little eye icon. If I click on it, it'll actually show me right where it is, right there. It'll direct my mouse right on top of it. If it's not one of these common tabs, it'll actually even just drop down like this and go into here and do something like that, which is really, really cool. Great job, SolidWorks. I love that feature. You have some other options up here to personalize your account. And right here, something that's kind of interesting with SolidWorks is when it opens up the program, it's almost opening up this part right here, your build space, as a window. And so what I mean by that is, let's say I click left right here, it's actually creating a window inside the program. This is actually really, really useful if you're going to be creating lots of different files and you want to be able to toggle between them. You can have one on the left, on the right. I could even make this whole program go onto 2 screens, and I can have 4 files open, which is really useful, especially in an assembly situation. I can also shrink it down, so I can have it down here, and you can have a number of files. Can't really see it behind my logo. Down here, so that's also something that's really useful. But if it's a single part, you're just going to be working on it from here. Brings us over to the right side. There's a couple different tabs here. You have your 3D Experience Marketplace. This is a feature I've not done any work with. It's something that SolidWorks advertises. My understanding is it's something more to do with if you're a business and managing those things. So I can't really talk much about that. It is something you have to pay for, a subscription. You have your home. This is similar to when we opened up. Your design library, it's something I don't really have anything for. Another thing that's useful for companies. File Explorer. I didn't even know this was here until prepping for this video, but I can actually access my documents from here, which is awesome. It just makes it a little bit easier. We do have a view palette, which for whatever reason doesn't open, so I'll have to look at what that does in the future. You have your scenes and decals, and also same stuff here as it is right here. And then your custom properties for the file. So I'm going to actually close that wrong way. Awesome. Let's see. Next we have down here. Oh boy, I'm in the way. Actually, you can barely see me. Just says IPS. So you can see it says IPS, that stands for inches, pounds, and seconds. So I can actually click on that. Here, I'm going to move myself in the way. All right, so IPS. So I can click on this. And actually can change my units from here, which is really, really useful. I actually really love that they have all these varieties, and that's just easily accessed right there. All right, so we'll just keep it at that, and I'm going to move myself back. There we go. You do have your different XYZ origins just to see. Excuse me. Clicking on it will not work to drag it. It's more of just a visual cue. You can do a motion study if you're going to be doing any video stuff. It's going to be right down here. And it'll add all of that. Last thing I want to note is in your build history right above, you have a number of tabs. This is all sorts of different features, many of which are found in other places throughout the program. But just kind of a quick place where you can grab them. So again, you can find your appearances. You can do a lot of your cam work from here. So it's really nice to know and to tinker around with these different tabs. If you don't like your build history right here, you can move it around. You can shift it. You can make it smaller. You can also add separate. So that's something. Let's go back. So something that's good to know. You can also make it smaller here. I personally like it a little bit on the smaller side. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, just quickly looking around, there's nothing really else that I can see that it needs to be talked about. So yeah, that is, in a quick rundown, just the layout of SolidWorks. Fairly intuitive. I like it. Maybe it's not intuitive as some other programs, but I would say it's definitely more intuitive than others. If you like this video, again, hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments about the layout, and I'd love to also hear about your preferences of other design programs, please leave a comment down below. Yeah, really looking forward to doing more of these videos, and I hope to see you in the future, so keep on modeling.